Hello, and welcome to another UTS Startups Confessions. A little welcome round of applause, please. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much, everyone at home as well. Now, academia, and particularly people in research, need to be watching this because I get the impression you spend all day creating new knowledge and kind of exploring intellectual worlds and no time at all dealing with administration or promotion concerns or other things. Is that right? Silence. No. So we have a solution for a lot of the administration side of things that is pulling in a lot of what's being enabled now by AI to take people and make them a lot more productive in the research space. So I'm extremely excited about this. But I'm going to let you explain what this is for everyone at home, please.
Awesome. Thanks, Murray, and thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for coming and hearing about AcademicID. So AcademicID is it's a platform of different tools to both reduce admin time and actually speed up the research process. So our main user is academics, but of course, students also have to undertake a lot of research. So anyone who wants to undertake research can speed up the process with AcademicID, and then for our researchers and academics out there, there's just that added bonus of also reducing admin time. So what we actually do is provide a range of data-driven and AI tools to sort out all the academic data out there. So for our academics, you know that there's so many platforms like ORCID, Semantic Scholar, just to name a few, that house academic data. And the best thing about probably the last 10 years in academia is this push to open access and make that data as easily available to academics and non-academics out there. So we started off as a profile page for academics to pull together all their achievements, all their academic works, all their media appearances, basically every career achievement that an academic could achieve into one platform. And this original idea was to use this as a digital CV for academics to showcase for promotion applications or pull all the metrics and data that one would need for, say, grant funding applications. And whilst this was and still is a great academic profile, I quickly realized we had so much data available to us that we needed to do something with it. And traditional data analysis and the tools available weren't cutting it. So we looked into the new AI solutions to see what we could do to analyze this big data. So the end result was a few different tools. The first tool was a collaborator finder tool where you could search for academic collaborators based on actual expertise and not just keywords in their profiles. So you might be looking for someone who has this very niche knowledge on a particular research topic that you need to collaborate with, but they might not have that keyword listed on their profile or something like that. Our AI analyzes all the academic outputs of our researchers' profiles and can return results based on all that research, and it doesn't have to just match the keywords. So we like to say that it is searching by actual expertise and not just keywords. We also built a tool that allows academics to find all their metrics, but also compare those metrics to their peers. So for grant and promotion applications, you can more confidently say, out of all the academics that cover the exact same topic that I cover in my research, I'm ranked top 3 in the world or something like that. So effectively, we've just gone and found the most efficient and effective and accurate tools to utilize the academic data that's available today.
Okay, this is crazy. I know normally we do little 10-second intros, but I think that was worth a longer intro.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
got carried away.
No, I can see everyone's kind of leaning forward in their seats because I think as you explain it, it starts to make a lot of sense in terms of people understanding where they fit into the world better, which matters a lot in these kind of institutions, and being able to be more productive in finding the information that they need. That's impressive. But take us back a little bit, just really quickly. Who were you before AcademicID?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been a student here at UTS since 2018. I started with a Bachelor of Law and Journalism, and then I changed to a Bachelor of Law and Communications, and then I changed to a Bachelor of Law and Science. So I've actually been here for 7 years, and I'm still in the doing my last undergraduate subject at the moment. I guess I just couldn't solidly pick something to do. But it was my career ambition. I really love doing research, so I wanted to become an academic. I also really loved entrepreneurship and just building things. So I thought I'd combine the two and build something that was tailored to academics that hopefully I could use in my own research career, and a tool that I definitely use myself even with my undergraduate research.
I do love problems where people understand the problem really well and they've got good access to a lot of people with that problem. It sounds like 7 years dealing with different people who are addressing these kind of problems gave you good experience of the problem. I take it, I'm asking a question I know the answer to, but there is a problem with people finding what they need or seeing where they fit into global kind of hierarchies.
Yeah, definitely. So, from the conversations I've had with all the, especially UTS academics, but elsewhere, especially in the fields of science and especially biomedical science, there's up to 7 or 8 platforms that academics have to, scour to get all the information they need for grant funding. And they don't just have to find those websites; they actually have to maintain their profiles on those websites. And I think recently, companies like Orchid have been trying to consolidate that data into a single identifier, but it still doesn't have all the metrics and everything that you need. So from those original conversations with academics, mostly here at UTS, we decided to build this platform that has all that data in one go.
That's kind of interesting as well, because in talking about building this, everyone's talking about ChatGPT and OpenAI stuff, but it feels like you've got a lot of different AI-enabled tools that have then made this possible, like a team of AIs effectively.
Yeah, so I got hooked on the AI bandwagon, and only because it's so good. I didn't have a clue about AI, and I needed something to analyze all this data, so I learned as much as I could about it. And then I just sort of saw patterns. I'm like, that can be analyzed by AI, that can be analyzed by AI, I can ask AI to do this for me. So yeah, just through, I guess, becoming more familiar with AI in general, I was able to see just new use cases for it.
It's also interesting that the tech side of this that is really interesting is your use of AI, but the kind of front end and other things you've built using kind of more readily accessible tools.
Yeah, definitely. So I didn't know how to code when I started this. I was teaching myself, but it's a bit of a slow process. So it was actually my very first UTS Startups mentor session where someone pointed me towards Bubble. And I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Bubble, but it's a no-code platform, and you can build websites and applications, incredibly complex beasts with no code at all. And it's really the most incredible thing, not overselling it, it's amazing. But
audience survey, raise your hand if you've used Bubble. Raise your hand if you've heard of Bubble. Okay, that's great. That's why we're doing this. You need to try Bubble. And other no-code environments because...
So, yeah, it let me build the framework of this platform so quickly. Something that would have taken either 20 to 30 developers or me probably 20 to 30 years, I did in a few months. And so it is just a really powerful platform. And it's not perfect, so we do a lot of the sort of intensive data processing through traditional code, but through the combination of building one side of it in Bubble really quickly, I could dedicate a little bit more time to building the I guess you'd say the back-end data side. And together, it's resulted in an extremely powerful and lean data processing machine.
Sorry for going into depth on this, but it was cool to me because building front ends for websites shouldn't be the differentiator of a startup. Use Bubble to build a front end and then put really complex stuff into Azure that's hitting different AI endpoints from different services, and then that's being fed through. That sounds like the right way to use technology. But anyway, it was interesting to me. So, you launched 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, so we had our official launch with, I guess, a more complete platform. So we've been developing and testing for the last 6 months. And last week was sort of the finale of everything coming together in a sort of more condensed package. So last week, as part of our official launch, we launched Minerva, which is our answer to ChatGPT, but tailored for academics. So that was just off the back of all the recent hype on ChatGPT. It just felt like the right time to showcase this product to the world. So Minerva is another AI tool, and Minerva functions just like ChatGPT. It's almost the exact same backend, but for every response, Minerva not only provides you with the information that ChatGPT provides you, but devises its own literature search and then undertakes that search from a database of over 200 million academic papers and provides the searcher with references and further research extremely related to that topic. So it gets around this issue of knowledge attribution that ChatGPT fails at because you have further research right there in the user interface.
Okay, so two things have been launched. Minerva is providing that kind of citations and references for the things that it's spitting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they are sort of separate. And like I said, it's a tool belt of different solutions to just speed up academic research. So Minerva is more tailored to speeding up research itself, whereas the other tools mentioned before are more tailored at helping reduce admin time and things like that.
Okay, and so 2 weeks in, how has those two launches been going?
Really well. So we, since launching, the entire platform, Minerva has obviously been the most of interest feature, mainly because of all the hype on ChatGPT. So I find a lot of people are trying out Minerva and then stumbling across all the other solutions we offer, and they're really impressed by it. So a lot of feedback I get is, people want to try it, Minerva more and have increased access to it, but then they tell me oh, I also found your researcher profile is really informative. I'm going to show my academic friends. So yeah, it's been really good.
Okay, cool. So early days, I look forward to coming back and readdressing in a year or two and seeing how things are traveling. But this, in your mind, can you imagine what future universities, and particularly the research parts of them, look like when your tools are being used across the board?
Yeah, definitely. So I think especially for research and also students conducting their own research for essays or whatnot, the process of devising a search, actually going through all the databases to do that search, and then filtering through all the articles, which are literally just keyword matches to your search string, so it could be the most irrelevant pieces that have been published. It can take hours, it can take days. If you want to go through everything, it can take weeks of different people pulling together different bits of information. You can ask Minerva to find you information on topic X, and it will spit you out a response on topic X, and then also all the related articles in under 20 seconds. So I think we see it as a tool to speed up research, so research can be done quicker, more impactful research can be done, and academics can spend more time on doing probably the things they like more, like actually conducting the experiments as opposed to sifting through all the previous academic literature.
You can literally see people in the audience getting out their phones to start checking out Minerva, and I'm sure people are at home as well. I think that's going to be a decent pipeline of people coming through. But also, I like the productivity gains that this can give people, that it's not this typing something into ChatGPT, getting a really authoritative sounding answer and then hoping for the best and then doing your own research on top of that. There's actual information behind it that you can reference and actually use. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's there to answer those shortfalls of ChatGPT in academia, and it's great. It spits out information really quick, but you can't be 100% sure that information is correct. I've tried it myself in my studies, and it can just spit out the absolute most garbage thing you've ever heard. And also, it's only got knowledge to information, it's only been trained on information up to 2021, like the end of 2021. So especially in academia where new discoveries are being made every day, you're going to be missing stuff. So by us pulling in the latest research, you can be sure nothing is going to be missed.
Okay, beautiful. Maybe one last question to finish up. What can people do to help on this journey? 2 weeks in, if you could ask for anything, what would it be?
Definitely, just share it with your academic colleagues. There's been so much interest recently in using Minerva as a teaching tool. So if you know anyone who is familiar with those that are charged with either research teams or teaching teams within faculties or university-wide, showcase it to them, and I'm happy to talk to them to see how it could be a potential solution.
Okay, so you've heard the call to action is just tell everyone about this after you've checked it out yourself as well. But I guarantee this is going to spread around. I'm already getting emails from different people saying, have you seen this, without me sending it to them. So I think it's going to go well from here. I'm going to start to wrap up there, but I will say we do these sessions every Friday at 3:30 at UTS Startups at Central. We have the best pizza I've ever had in my life. Which I say every week, but you have to get down here and test it because I promise you it actually is. And wonderful people that are here that come from different entrepreneurial backgrounds or just have interest in entrepreneurship. Everyone is welcome every Friday at 3:30. We're going to turn off the cameras now and do a private Q&A with the more juicy questions where you want to be here in person for the answers, but you don't want to broadcast them everywhere. So make sure you join for that as well. I'm going to thank Amazon Web Services for sponsoring the pizza. Thank you, Amazon, and the Amazon people that are here helping people out as well. And I'll wrap up there. Please join me in thanking Kieran.